So about a year or two ago on this channel, I dropped a video called "This is Why I Don't Follow Black Culture Anymore." And in that video, I talked about how there was a moment in high school when I realized that so-called Black Americans have been raised and we have been taught to follow different rules and just a different culture from the rest of society. And I didn't know it at the time, but those rules that we've all been raised to follow in our community are basically gang culture and gang rules. Even if you're not in a gang, you've never been in a gang, never been a part of a gang, the rules apply to everybody in the community, which explains why there's a no snitching policy, it explains why certain behaviors are considered acceptable to perpetuate onto other so-called black people. And I also shared that video how we see it reflects in our music, so on and so forth. Well, about a year ago, if you all remember, former NBA player Steven Jackson, who is also the co-host of All the Smoke podcast, along with former NBA player Matt Barnes, decided to go to O Block. For those of you who don't know, O Block is a neighborhood in Chicago, also goes by Parkway Gardens, but O Block is the more popular term for it, which is a neighborhood that's associated with King Von, Lil Durk, Chief Keef. Of course, he decided to post a video to social media explaining to us why it was that he decided to randomly go to O Block 3-4 o'clock in the morning to link up with teenagers. Take a listen.
Yeah, a lot of y'all been O Block pulling up taking pictures. Where we at?
Tell them how they coming.
We in the middle of it. I mean, y'all pull up and take pictures and y'all not allowed to.
They sneak.
And one thing about it, if you're a real one, you don't mind checking in.
Checking in. What'd you say?
I check in with the real one. That's why I'm in the middle of O Block.
Where you at?
You see the hoop?
Where you at?
I'm in the middle of O Block. Man. Listen, man.
In the middle of this bitch where the people's be, you know what I'm saying? Where the real people's be, man.
Shit you can't pay for.
Rap cap.
No rap cap. Shit you can't pay for. Me, we really out here. O Block, Chi-Town. Rest in peace, King Von. We in the middle of O Block, ain't we?
64.
Quit playing, man.
64.
I'm everywhere, you never there.
This is actually perfect. A 47-year-old former NBA player decided that not only decided it was a good idea to go to a neighborhood to link with teenagers to quote unquote check in, but he thought it was a good idea even more so to post it online and ridicule other people who don't agree with the term checking in. Now, for those of you who don't know, checking in is a terminology. A lot of you all will know what this means, but a lot of you all will not. Checking in is basically something that is derived from gang culture. Once again, is gang politics, and it essentially only is enforced by so-called black people onto, for the most part, only other black people. And this term basically means checking in with other gang members that's in that area so that you don't get robbed, so that you know where to go. Basically extortion, right? You pay them to some extent so that they don't rob you. You pay them to some extent so that they can tell you the right places to go, the right places not to go, so that they can allow you to do whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether that's perform a concert, shoot a movie film, whatever you may be in the neighborhood for. They will allow you to do it only after you check in with them first. Why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because one of the most famous gang members, a guy by the name of Big U, who is a Crip, was just arrested in the last week and a half or so on a federal RICO indictment. A guy who spent many years in jail, got out of jail many years ago, claimed to have been reformed, claimed to be a changed man, supposed to be this activist and this community leader. Well, in this indictment, it alleges that all of that was a facade, when in fact they're saying that Big U is not only behind murders and extortion, fraud, and all these other things. They're also saying that Big U was running a scheme, a mafia-like scheme, with a term called checking in at the top of the list of the things that they perpetuated in.
When I go to Chicago, I respect Chicago wholeheartedly. I check in. When I go to Atlanta, I check in. When I go places, I check in. And I don't think nobody is safe. I know dudes right now from LA who are actual gang members who have been robbed for their jewelry, who real killers, like who really real killers. Like if he ever find out who did that, he gonna knock everybody down. You understand what I'm saying? You just caught slipping. You know, that's how it is. You know what I mean? And you try your best not to be slipping. And if you have the means not to, why do it? You know what I mean? And it's just about, sometimes it's about respecting, you know, yourself and then trying to get home. So, I mean, you know, I hear a lot of back and forth from that, but I mean, I don't know that it's a perfect answer other than me, myself, I check in.
I just want to interrupt for just a sec to say, first of all, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you're new to the show, please know we're thirsty to grow and to drink some of this warm water with lemon. You can help us out by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. But don't worry, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to hit that like button for me. Thank you. Please follow us on our other socials as well. Thank you for your support. It was alleged that this man was extorting celebrities like Meek Mill, Rick Ross, saying that he was claiming to take donations from famous NBA players like Shaquille O'Neal and was taking a lot of that money and was pocketing the money for himself. Said that he was extorting people, that being store owners, celebrities, rappers. If they came to the neighborhood, they did not check in, they would be robbed, they will be assaulted. If you have a store in the neighborhood and you didn't check in, your store will be vandalized. You will be robbed on a regular basis if you did not check in with Big U. And to make matters even worse, a guy by the name of Loose Cannon, who was allegedly the right-hand enforcer and the right-hand man of Big U for many years, him and Big U had a falling out. So Loose Cannon decided to go on No Jumper podcast and share one of the many reasons that they fell out, explaining that when he would go and extort people, or he would go and check people for not checking in, or even people that chose not to check in, changed their mind, said they didn't want to check in anymore, said they didn't have any money, maybe they didn't even know that they were supposed to be checking in. When he would go and enforce the whole checking in code, the checking in policy, let's say they'll rob somebody for $80,000 in their jewelry, he would meet up with Big U maybe in the next hour or two at his house. He said that by the time he would get back to Big U's house, the people that he just robbed would be at Big U's house with Big U. He said so it was super awkward. He like, man, I just robbed these folks. What they doing here? He said what he didn't understand nor like was that Big U, let's say they robbed the folks for $80,000. Big U would have the folks to show up that they just robbed, and he would give them folks like $40,000 back. And he'll look at them and say, this is how you rob yourself. And this is what happens when you don't check in. I can't promise you that these certain people in the neighborhood, who I may or may not know, won't come and rob you. I can't promise you that they won't come and vandalize your store. I can't promise you that the promoter at this club will be able to protect you if you come and perform in this city and you don't check in.
Man, you better ask Gilly. Gilly
no?
You know, Gilly got stripped down by the homies because of
You're
Big
lying.
U.
Wait, Gilly?
Yeah, the homie Rose and them stripped.
We're talking about Gilly the kid. We're talking about the guy with the podcast. We're talking about $1 million worth of game.
Yeah. He got his son stripped down, and they stripped down Gilly.
What do you, like for what? Like what? What do you mean? Gilly never got robbed though.
Yeah, him and his son got stripped. They stripped him in the 60s. Big U lined them up. They stripped him, took all their jewelry. The did it, came on the stage and said he did it. And get mad at me like I did it. I ain't did it. I ain't do it. I went, man.
No.
Fuck mad at me for?
Gilly official from Philly, man. Gilly not going like that.
Gilly had his hands up in the mother air with his 2 kids. A father that couldn't protect his 2 kids. That's what he is. I told that, look, bro, don't be popping at me. Cause with another saying, nigga, that from Roller 60 Crip for real. Everybody know that is. He telling you, Big, you lined your punk ass up. Now, if you got your ass robbed over there, you and your kids, he said Nipsey went over there and gave it $20,000 because he felt bad for him.
It only applied for the most part to black people. They're not going out in Hollywood and extorting Tom Hanks, Jim Carrey, Tom Cruise. No, it mostly only applied to other so-called black people. Well, the clip that I played for you at the very beginning of Steven Jackson claiming that he's checking in because all the real ones check in. All the real ones check in, and he believes in that sort of deal. Well, now he's backtracking because this same person who is a cancer to the black community, who is a cancer to black culture, who is not a role model by any standard of the imagination, just recently went onto a podcast and explained that he actually never checked in and that he's willing to pay anybody $1 million who can prove that he checked in. Take a listen.
I don't bother nobody. You don't never see me bother nobody getting nobody business, bro. And let's clear up the old box shit since we talked about that.
Yeah.
You can't find, I give $1 million to anybody that you can find on old block to say I checked in. This how the whole story went. We was in Chicago for the Big 3. We went out, we got f***ed up, we was back in the hotel gambling and playing cards in the lobby. Will Bynum is from Chicago. He has another dude from Chicago. My drunk ass says, let's go to O Block.
I mean,
That's not
I
a
said
norm
it.
for you, though.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not a reach for you.
No, and it wasn't surprising to nobody that was there.
Especially
and Will was like, "You for real?" I'm like, "Yeah, dog, let's go." They knew somebody there. They called him. Them told us we could pull up. I pulled up, rolled some weed with him, smoked with a couple of them. There's one little dude, shout out Ty. I don't know what he got going on. I'm gonna tell you a story about Ty. As soon as I got out there, that little stuck, you know what I'm saying, got right on my hip. You know what I'm saying?
Come on,
little
man.
young nigga. You know, to the point where shit.
If something happened to him, it's happening to me.
Bro, he just stuck to me. You know what I'm saying? Gave him my weed, he rolled me and him smoking together. So I'm out there shooting basketball, shooting the bullshit.
Oh, you jury
5 in the morning.
Yes.
Like I'm in PA, nigga. Ain't no checking in. Nigga. Pulled up on the youngins.
I want my $1 million. Yes, I want my freaking money. Because as I played at the beginning of this video, you quite literally said yourself that you checked in. What did you mean by checking? Even if you didn't pay them any money, we all know we're not idiots what you mean by checking in. You're linking and affiliating yourself with the people who can cause the most havoc in that area. So you're checking in with them to make sure you're on good terms with them, which is gang politics. And then you all try to spread that to the rest of us and try to force us to follow you all's way of living, toxic way of living. This is just how bad it is. You got people like Steven Jackson and Big U who have these codes of silence when they try to speak in code about what they're really talking about is really gang culture. You got people like Big U extorting people who simply and harmlessly just trying to shoot a film on public property that is not even owned by Big U. Look at Big U posting a video to the internet after checking these people who chose not to check in.
Movie production in the hood. That's how we do it, young man.
Top flight, baby. Security.
GB running this here movie set in the hood.
Come on out here.
Coming out here and checking in with GB, getting these movies done. You better know it. You know what I mean? Anytime you want to do movies in the hood, just check it in. We can make sure it's done. Movies, videos. But if you don't check it in,
Oh, well. Check your
we gonna check you in, all right. We gonna check in all of your equipment. We gonna check in all of your equipment.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. This is why I stopped following Black culture. This is why it's toxic. This is why it's detrimental. Because when you choose not to follow these things, they call you a coon, they call you a bootlicker, they call you a traitor. No. I'm a man of God that has integrity, who has a different way of living life. I'm not a gang member, bro. And the worst part is that you all do this, for the most part, to just black people. You don't have the courage of the balls to try to say any other community because you're afraid you'll end up in jail. Because they don't have a no snitching policy. They're gonna go and tell on you. And then on the way to turn himself in, Big U had the nerve and audacity to post a video saying he's just a black man trying to help other black people. And this is what happens when you try to help other black people. The feds come after you and try to attack the black man.
It's hard helping black people and not being hunted for doing it. Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community. I ain't been nothing but a help to our community. But I guess it is what it is. This the price of being black and trying to help somebody, trying to help your community and do what you can. You're just guilty because somebody else don't like you and then go on the internet and do what they want to and y'all gonna promote it. It's crazy.
The nerve of you, bro. How freaking dare you try to pull the race card after you're the biggest cancer to the black community? You're why black culture is in the state that it's in. People like you. And then because you have the power and the influence to murder people, have people murdered, have people robbed, have people extorted, have people exonerated from the industry that they want to be a part of so bad. Everybody just follows along, calls you the Godfather, say that you have all this influence, praising you because they're afraid.
If I was to describe Big U's role in rap, he would definitely be the Godfather. Can't do nothing without consulting him. He's the only guy who does move how he moves.
He was involved with Nipsey. He had a relationship with Death Row.
People from certain neighborhoods' names would ring bells, and his name was ringing a lot of bells.
Everything is based on fear in the black community, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Denounce the modern form of so-called black culture. I don't approve it. I don't affirm it. I don't follow it. I don't care for it. This is not the black culture of 60 years ago, bro. So when y'all hop in here and say that's not black culture, that's gang culture, tell me the difference in 2025. Hop in the comment section. Give me your thoughts. I'm Demetrius. I go by Didi. That's all for this one, man. Until next time. Peace.
Oh, yeah. Didi got a podcast.